It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!
RowPaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Voucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course. It's time for the Tyson Degenhart Show with Boise State basketball star Tyson Degenhart, sponsored by Idaho Central Credit Union. Find a branch near you or get more information at ICCU.com. Now, here's Tyson Degenhart with BJ Rains for another edition of the Tyson Degenhart Show on Bronco Nation News.
Hey, how we doing? Welcome on back to the Tyson Degenhart Show here at Bronco Nation News. My name is BJ Rains, and of course, Tyson Degenhart is with us for another episode of the Tyson Degenhart Show, presented by our friends at Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. I know there's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check them out online, ICCU.com today. And Tyson, I know I was super happy when with my previous bank, didn't realize what I was missing. The Rains family and Bronco Nation News, we moved all of our business personal accounts over to ICCU, and we're happy we did. I know you're happy working with them. We appreciate them for allowing you to do this, and you for coming on the show again. How you doing?
I'm great. I just want to give another thanks to Idaho Central Credit Union. I'm not wearing an exact shirt, but they helped sponsor a skills clinic I ran at Shoot 360 up in Spokane. I got the logo on the back. So just want to thank them for all they do in the Treasure Valley community for banking all around. And if you didn't know, they're moving into Tucson, Arizona. That was one of the recent headlines for Idaho Central. So they're becoming more well-known on the west side of the United States, and excited to be a part of their journey.
Speaking of gear and shirts you're wearing there, Tyson, if you're interested, I got a new BNN hat for you. If you might be interested, I got the rope hat right here. It looks like that might be kind of your style.
That's right up my alley.
And then I've got the one that I'm wearing, which is the black font, and I've got the blue font here also for the these are some nice kind of Lululemon style hats here from a local company, Native Apparel. But if you're interested in another golf hat or something, I got you and Keen covered here if you want one.
You got to let Keen know about that. He's a big hat guy now.
Yes, he is. Yes. Well, we appreciate Keen and you and everybody involved with this show. And we're going to have a good show tonight. We're looking forward to a couple of good guests tonight.
Yeah, great couple guests. They'll come on in a couple minutes, but just want to thank you all for tuning in. If you got questions for our guests, please get them in the comments. We got Alvaro Cardenas, our starting point guard, on the show coming on in about 5 minutes. And then in about 25 minutes, we'll have our our recently redshirt taken off freshman Pearson Carmichael. So make sure you guys get your questions in the comments so we can ask them when they get on the show.
Yeah, get those questions in now. With anything you want to ask Alvaro or Peanut or Tyson, and we'll get to that here shortly. What's the bye been like? I believe you guys had today off, if I'm correct. You had a couple days of the last couple days, and then a day off, and then now tomorrow you'll lock in on San Diego State here. But kind of a nicely timed bye. You had the first bye, which was nicely timed. You win the 4 games in a row, and then you get the extra day with the game being on Friday as well, and you got a couple of days off. How refreshed are you guys and ready to go here for the stretch run?
It's exciting. We got the last little stretch coming up, and this bye came at a perfect time. And I think we feel really rejuvenated, really refreshed. Had a good last couple of days of practice. Got today off, and then we'll lock in on San Diego State. They had a nice little comeback win yesterday. Probably not the first half they wanted to, but they made a great run to start the second half and ended up pulling it out. So glad that they got the win and excited to play them on Saturday.
I'll tell you what, man, I know you never, until the score hits 0, no matter what the score is, you never think you have a game won. But certainly against San Diego State on Saturday, if you get up 10, 12, 15, 17, 20 points, we've seen in that building, San Jose State was up 21 a couple weeks ago, and San Diego State came back, and then Wyoming was up double digits there at home, and San Diego State came back, and then we saw it again last night, 17-point halftime deficit. So I assume that you guys are going to be well aware, no matter what the score is, that you got to keep the pedal to the metal there.
Absolutely. There's no easing up against San Diego State, especially with the way they play defense. I mean, they scored 17 points in that start of that second half in about just a little over 2.5 minutes. So
I've seen that before, man. That was unreal.
It was I know my mom texted me like, "Hey, San Jose's up 17," and then I texted back, "Not anymore." And the game just completely flipped. So you got to be ready for anything with them. They're very, very good defensively, and they can get after you, put a lot of pressure on you. And if you don't take care of the ball, you're in for a long night.
And there's some really good coaches in this league, and like coaches that I like talking to and respect, but it seems like Brian Dutcher is one of my more favorite coaches in the league. And I know you have a rapport with him at media days and stuff, but he's always very respectful of your game. And it seems like he's always, very respectful towards Boise State. And I know you've gotten to know him a little bit at some of the media days and things, but at least in the regular season here, your last time going up against Dutch.
It's going to be fun. It's always a great battle between us and San Diego State, especially during my times here. And it's a big game for us, a big resume game. So we're going to be dialed in, buttoned up, and ready to go get a nice little road win.
What was the emphasis the last 2 days of practice? The first bye, it was defense, and rebounding. And what the last couple of days here, where have you guys been working? Where do you think you got better?
We still emphasize defense. We're not necessarily complacent with where we're at. We obviously took a jump those last 4 games, but we know we can get better, and definitely made some strides on that. And then the other thing is we've been turning the ball over a little too much, including myself. I had 6 turnovers against UNLV, which is very uncharacteristic of me. So just making sure we take care of the ball, because we're averaging probably 2 more turnovers than we'd like to. We want to keep that number around 10. So if we get that number down, we're going to be just fine.
Crazy sitting here talking to you now compared to the feeling when you and I talked after the Colorado State game. I mean, just what a couple of weeks can do. But Leon called it rock bottom. I know it was a low point for you guys, but you stayed positive. Al stayed positive, and I know that the schedule easing up had a little bit to do with that. You guys had played some really tough road venues and some road games, and had a tough part of your schedule, but. Crazy the feeling and the outlook right now compared to a couple weeks ago.
It's all about staying present in the present moment. After sitting talking to you after the loss to Colorado State, there wasn't anything we could do about changing those last 9 games, and we just focused on the present and just getting those one win at a time. And we continue to get better during that stretch, and hopefully to continue to keep making jumps down the stretch.
Well, shout out to Dave over at Lean Feast. I know he's been a big supporter of yours and Brooks, with some food and deals and things. I know they're feeding the team as well, and always appreciative of Dave. Rain's family loves Lean Feast, and it's helped me drop some pounds here during the season as well. So, what's your go-to meal over there at Lean Feast?
I'm actually been on the pasta wave over there. They got a great pesto pasta with chicken, and then their chicken parm is also very, very good. So. Those are 2 of my go-tos for dinner, and then I'm a big fan of their breakfast as well. So I go with 2 chocolate chip protein pancakes, 3 turkey sausages, and 4 ounces of eggs. So it's easy in the morning to wake up, throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you got a nice healthy breakfast that'll get you ready for the day.
And they deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley now, so check them out online, leanfeastmeridian.com, and it's good 5 days in your refrigerators. You can order on Sunday and Monday. It's good all week, and then just pop it in the microwave there for about 2 minutes, and it's good to go. Hey, give us one more plug for ICCU before we go to our first guest here.
Yeah, ICCU is the best bank around. You see me here on the card control app. I can turn on and off my card. If I lose it, I can turn it off and then go to a branch and get a new one right away. I can set transaction limits to how much I can spend, where I can spend it at. So big shout out to ICCU and for allowing me to do the show and do some other cool things in the Treasure Valley.
Well, our first guest is ready. He's been making the media tour today, it seemed like, and he's going to finish up his day here chatting with you. So why don't you bring him on? Yeah,
I want to say welcome to our starting point guard, Alvaro Cardenas. Hermanito, gracias.
Gracias, Hermanito. Before we get started, I just want to let you know I love your mustache, man.
I appreciate it. Yours is looking. You gonna shave the goatee, or you gonna get the mustache?
I might have to do a little something here.
How's your media day been today? You've went on Prater in the ball game, and now you're on my show. How's the Boise City run of media stations?
Yeah, it was great. I had a lot of fun over there at the radio. I'm looking forward to this right now, Diggy.
Did they put your picture on the window?
They did, yeah. I signed it and everything.
Oh, good. I'm just making sure they took care of you down there.
They did.
How have you think since the bye? How do you think our team's played?
I think we've made a lot of progress, honestly. I heard you guys talking about after the Colorado State game. Obviously, there was a little bit of a rock bottom, for the team and stuff. But I think we've responded the right way. I think our defense has been getting so much better. We've held most of the teams we've played under 60 points a game, which is really good. And I think we're in the right place right now. We got 8 games to to make a run and hopefully get in the bubble and in the tournament. So.
What do you expect from San Diego State on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean it's always tough to play out there. I've actually never won. I know your record over there is 2-1, so hopefully we can make it 3-1. But yeah, I mean it's going to be a tough game. We're both tied in the standings, so I mean we need to get our get back. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. If you have a question for Al, make sure you get it in the comments. We'll be reading them as we go. We got one from Chad saying, "What's your favorite food spot in Boise so far?"
Yo, dude, that's a good question. I don't know. I think Paddle's Up. I'm still a big fan of it. Yeah.
What's your go-to order there?
Dude, I get the 5 protein things, and then I just load it up.
It's a great order. Brooks is a big fan. I still haven't made my way down there. So what should I order if I go there?
I don't know what you like, but I get some salmon, some tuna, just healthy stuff, some seaweed, things like that.
You like seaweed?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you eat a lot of it over in Spain, or is that like a normal thing?
No, not really. I eat a lot of fish back home, which is something I miss here in the States. But yeah, not raw fish. I eat more like, I don't even know the name in English, but yeah, man, I eat a lot of fish back home.
It's funny because Robbie's asking you like what's something that surprised you about coming to America, and if applicable specifically to Boise.
Yo, what up, Robbie? Something that surprised me about coming to America. That's a good question, man. I don't know. I think the culture is just very different. It was a little bit of a shock. I think, people back home are very open and very friendly. And when I was in San Jose, in California, it wasn't that way because it was more like a big city. So you don't really get that, that feeling. But I feel like coming to Boise, it's been a little bit more similar, and people are like really friendly and open and show a lot of support. But yeah, the culture in itself is just a little bit different.
You talked about San Jose. I got to tell you a story. So in middle school, you play on an AAU team and then you have a school team. And so for an AAU team, I played with this team, and then there was another AAU team that was a bunch of my middle school team playing. Mm-hmm. So I was playing against like my my middle school friends. I see like a similarity to you playing San Jose State. What were the emotions like in that game, to give people like a little bit of an insight about that?
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit weird, especially that first game. I think I put a little too much pressure on myself, and I was just, overthinking. So obviously didn't have my best game there, but we got the win, which was the most important thing. And I think the second game, it was just a little bit different. I tried to kind of just treat it like a normal game and go out and get a dub, and it went better for myself and for the team. But in terms of, playing against my old coaches, I have a lot of love and respect for them. So it's always great to see them. There's no harsh feelings or anything like that. And I have some really good friends as well. There's only like 4 or 5 teammates that from last year, but it was great. And it's always great seeing them.
Jordan's saying, what kind of crap were they talking in that first game?
Oh, they got up early, especially in the first half. And they were, just talking a little bit of crap. Every time they got a rebound or I missed a shot or, just normal things trying to get in my head. So I definitely had to get him back a little bit in that second game.
Absolutely.
Hey, speaking of talking crap, can I jump in here for a second? When I asked Emmanuel Ugbo who he was shushing, can we get to the bottom of this for a second here, Alvaro? Because you were kind of going, oh, who was it? Who was it? It's come to my attention in the video that he may have been looking over in the corner of the media. Can you confirm or deny that he was actually shushing me?
Dude, I have no idea, man. I wish I could tell you. I mean, it did seem from my view that he was shushing over there where you were at. But
So
I mean, it could be somebody in the stands. I have no idea. You got to ask him again and see what he says.
In fairness, during the UNLV game, I did put one tweet out saying I have no problem with him playing, but not sure I need him shooting a lot of threes. And you know what? There was no diss at him. I think he's doing a great job, but I was just being honest. I think there's other guys on the court that you would all probably agree with, and you both of yourself included, maybe would take a 3 over him. But you know what? He made it. He looked over there. If that's really what happened, and I can fire him up to make a couple threes every game, and he wants to shush at me every time, I'll take it.
Hey, keep tweeting at him. I like it.
Hey, I don't ask me, because I didn't see who he was shushing. I just was going in for the rebound, and he makes, and I turn around, I see him celebrating, so I'm getting hyped with him. I don't know who he's shushing at, but
I didn't know about it. And then when Al, you were saying that, and then after the game, somebody said that, and I was like, I looked at the video and I was like, it's pretty funny. I asked the question, and sure enough, it was probably me. But
hey, man, I have no idea who he was shushing.
I know you're lying, but that's all right. It's all, like I said, he's doing a heck of a job. And that game he had the other night, man, 12 points, 5 rebounds. I mean, if you guys can get that kind of production from him moving forward here, that's a game changer for you guys. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, all jokes aside, though, Ems is doing a great job. He really does work on his game every single morning. He's in there shooting. So we knew one of those was going to go in. You know what I mean? And it's not like he's going to shoot 3 threes a game. That's not what we need, obviously. When he's open and with space, we trust him to take those shots. And on defense, he just brings a lot of energy, and it's something that we needed. So.
And also on defense, he talks a lot.
Oh,
he talks a lot. That's what we need. Just another.
Not just on defense though, Tyson. He talks all the time. Outside the court, he's kind of a little bit annoying, if you ask me. I'm just joking.
He just brings a lot of energy to it.
I used to say that about Omar last year, though, before I realized that he was a pretty good 3-point shooter, too. I used to, when the beginning, he'd miss some. And I told Abe Jackson one time on one of my pregame shows, this is one thing about Omar is I don't need him shooting threes. And literally to this day, if you guys ever see Omar make a 3, if you look over at Abe Jackson calling the game, he'll look up at me and give the 3. To this day, Abe Jackson will make eye contact with me every time Omar hits a 3, because he said he loves Omar shooting threes. And I was sold because he started hitting them. So anybody on the team can shoot threes. I won't say anything else. And if it fires people up to make them, then I'm happy that I can contribute for your to your wins there, guys.
Yeah.
I got to ask you, did you ever say anything about me shooting threes when I was a freshman in that first little stretch?
I don't think I did. Me and Jay Tust, it was well documented last year. Put Max's stats on Twitter, and he got a little mad about that. But like I said, you guys get motivated however you need to, and if we can help, I don't think we say anything that's malicious or whatever. We just give our opinions and thoughts on things, and I don't think I went too far with what I said about Emmanuel, but I'm happy he made it, and I hope he makes 10 more in a row and keeps looking at me every time. That'd be great.
I would love that too.
It's just a part of your job, BJ. We understand. We understand you. You're out there to voice your opinion and get people to get the clicks, and sometimes say like what's objectively could be correct, but people don't like that sometimes.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I tweet and wish I didn't, so it goes both ways. I understand it, but like I said, I'm happy he made it. It was nothing personal, and it was great to see. And if he plays like that, like I said, you guys are going to be tough to beat moving forward here. He played awesome, and it was great to see.
Mm-hmm.
Al, I got to ask you, what down the stretch? I know we have 7 games in the regular season, some big ones down the stretch, got some teams coming at home. What do we need from this Boise community, especially during our home games?
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up. I actually talked a little about it in the radio today. But, I mean, I think we need people to really show up for the last 7 games of the season. I think, in order for us to beat these big teams at home, I think the environment is so important and it can help us so much. So I think having, I know, BJ, you've been tweeting about it and trying to get people to come, but, just having people at Boise come and support the game, pack out extra miles. I mean, it makes a huge difference. Going on a big run and having everybody, clapping and going crazy, that it really makes a difference. So, I mean, we need everybody they can come. The students are super important. So we were definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't think you've seen Al. You haven't seen Extra Mile Arena even close to what it could be. I mean, there's been a couple of good crowds this year, no doubt, but you would, especially if you guys can find a way to win on Saturday and you come home, with all the momentum next week. I mean, there's no reason that New Mexico game shouldn't be just electric and sold out. And I think you would probably agree, Tyson. There's been some good crowds, but I don't think there's still way more he could see in terms of what they can bring to the table at the X.
100%. And we only have 3 more chances to impress Al with the Extra Mile crowd. So it's up to you guys. It's up to you fans to impress Al for his lasting impression of Extra Mile Arena.
Yeah.
So Reese had a good question in the comments saying, do you guys try to block out or do you guys listen to the bubble talk at all?
I don't know, Tyson. What do you do?
I mean, like I occasionally see something, but I don't like go actively searching for it. I happened to see like Jay Tuss post about us being on Lenardi's thing, and that was about it. And that's all I have knowledge of. And we just try to focus on one game at a time. And if we continue to win, going to keep this winning streak going as long as we can. I mean, the sky's the limit for this team, and we can find our way into the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. There's obviously things that you see on social media and stuff, but overall, I think what we've done a really good job of is just focusing on one game at a time, and having that 1-0 mentality every time we go out and play a game. So I think that's been working for us, and that's what we're gonna continue to do.
And Absolutely. I will say this: I think fans would agree. Like Al, you deserve to play in the NCAA tournament in your career and what you've done. Like I think if there was ever justice in this world, and just like what someone deserves, like this team going on a magical run here, whether it's regular season and getting at large, winning the conference tournament, like with the numbers you're putting up and what you've done and San Jose and some of the down years you had there. I think if there was ever something where it's just meant to happen, I think number one is you getting to play in the tournament. And I think people would agree for you, Tyson, it's being that guy that wins that first game. I know that was the goal, and you've obviously been there 3 years in a row, but the only thing left on your kind of checklist here is to be part of a team that brings that first win. And so I think for you two in particular, part of what gives me and fans and others hope, I think, is like, no, this isn't how it doesn't end. It doesn't end with them flaming out. Like, no, this ends with them winning a game in the tournament and moving on and having this magical run. And I don't know if you guys are there yet where you guys are letting yourselves believe that something like that can happen or what, but I certainly think from a fan perspective, that's what everyone's still holding out hope for.
Yeah, I mean, you got to believe. I mean, if you don't believe, it's not going to happen. And I think the team believes. We all feel like we're clicking and we're getting better and better. So, I mean, that's how it works in college basketball. You get hot at the right time and good things can happen.
And I guess New Mexico is down 16-10 already.
Still early.
I mean, Wyoming gave them some trouble up in Laramie, but we'll have to see how that game continues to go. We got a good comment from a guy named Eric Carmichael. He must be waiting for the next guest to come on, but You guys ever think about what's to come next year and what comes next?
Yeah. What's up, Eric? I think we and Tyson are kind of on the same page here. Like, we're really just focusing on this season, making the most of it. I feel like if we start thinking ahead too much, then kind of messes with your game and your focus, So I think, I don't want to speak for him, but for me at least, I'm just trying to focus on this season and get into March Madness and winning some games. So
I'm 100% in the same boat. I feel like
what happens, Alvaro, if you break the single season NCAA assist record on a pass to Tyson Degenhart to break the school record for points? Who gets to keep that ball?
T. Deggy, of course. He's the legend in Boise.
But on a real note, like, if we don't focus on like now, you focus on the future, then you don't enjoy the last month and a half of the season. And my big thing this year has just been about enjoying the moment, because I know it's going to be going quick, and I'm going to look back and I don't want to look back with any regrets of like looking ahead, especially at a time when we can go on this magical run and figure our way into the NCAA tournament. And I don't want to think about like looking back and being like, man, I wasn't present there, I wish I could go back. I want to make sure that we're always in the moment. Chad's asking, are you a Real Madrid fan?
Of course. I'm glad you asked that. Any Barcelona fans come talking to me, they can run away, man. I don't like them.
So you're a Ronaldo fan. Are you a Ronaldo fan?
Of course. CR7, baby.
How do you feel about him going to the Saudi league? How did you process that?
I mean, honestly, the dude is 38. He's, I think, 38, 39. He's about to be 40. He's making a massive amount of money. So I don't blame him. He's played in very competitive leagues, the most competitive in the world for 15 plus years. And honestly, he could still play, but I think he's also kind of being an ambassador for the Saudi league and trying to get that league to grow and grow. And a lot more players are starting to go there. And I don't blame him, because with the amount of money that's, the players are getting paid, it's kind of hard to say no.
Absolutely. Did Portugal ever win a Euro? They did? Okay. So the only thing, I was about to say, World Cup's the only thing he hasn't won.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
He's also been robbed of a couple golden balls, Ballon d'Or, by Messi. Messi's known to win some of those controversial ones, but it is what it is,
Did you plant that question? You asked that guy to ask that question the other day in the presser about when you were given
That's funny. That's funny that you say that. No, I didn't ask him, but they just so you know, they asked us about Netherlands and Spain being both soccer countries or football. And that's funny that he said that, because Spain beat Netherlands in 2010 in overtime, extra time.
World Cup, right?
Yeah, we smashed them. So Ems was still a little bit hurt about that. And it's okay, I understand, but you just got to accept it.
Todd saying, any memories of the U.S. beating Spain in the 2009 Confederations Cup?
Yeah, I don't even know what the Confederations Cup is, so that's for you, Todd. Try to make a World Cup, Todd.
Yeah, hey, we got a free bid into the World Cup in 26, so we don't have to qualify for that. That's
great, man. You guys celebrate making it to the World Cup. We celebrate
because we're hosting. He'll get in because we're hosting.
You're right. That's hilarious.
The U.S. is just has not caught up to the rest.
You guys are great in a lot of sports, but it couldn't be football too.
If you got any last questions for Al, get them in the comments quick. We got another great guest coming behind. What do you have to say about the Peanut and him getting inserted into the lineup at just middle of January? And what do you have to say about him and his
funny thing before you say that? The other day we were playing UNLV and Dylan Thomas came up to me, and because I was telling Peanut what to do, whatever. He's like, "Wait, you guys call him Peanut? What the hell?" Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with him. But no, I love Peanut. I think I'm honestly really impressed with him. We all knew the type of player that he was, but I think First of all, it's just very unselfish that he decided to burn his redshirt year to try to help the team. And then second of all, I just really like his swagger and his confidence. He came in his first game, pulled up from 3 from damn near 50 feet. I don't really know feet that well, but he pulled up
meters
from very deep. He pulled up from very deep. He made a couple threes. He was blowing kisses to the crowd, and then he was trying to say,
"No,
it wasn't really
the crowd. Don't say to the crowd. Don't say to the crowd.
Who was it to?
It was directed towards you. You know it too. You know it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking. But no, man. Peanut's future is really bright. So I'm glad that he burned that redshirt year and he's helping us.
Absolutely. We got one last question in the comments for you, Al, before we get you off. From Jordan, it says, are there any other Spaniards playing in the Mountain West / NCAA that you're tight with?
It's a good question, Jordan. I wouldn't say there's anybody that I'm close with. I've had a little bit of contact with a couple of them. Like Conrad Martinez, he plays at Arizona. He's just starting to play it a little bit more. Great Osobor. It's not like I have contact with him. I played against him a couple of times. He's not fully Spanish. Like I think if he would represent a country, it would probably be England. But he grew up in Spain until he was 12 years old. But yeah, there's not that many guys that I'm like close with, I would say. Not really.
But the Thomas Broplay connection was a big one.
That was a big one, yeah. I'm definitely close with him.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Well, Al, I want to thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the morning.
Sounds good. Thank you, BJ. Thank you, Tyson. Have a great day, guys.
Appreciate it, man. See you
mañana.
Hasta mañana.
To bring on our second guest, we have our burnt red shirt year freshman, Pearson Carmichael. Peanut, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on again.
Thank you.
What did you have to think about what Al said about you?
Everything he says is a compliment. I'm not gonna lie. So, I didn't know it was on the show. I was on my phone, just like laughing when he was talking. I didn't realize on the show, but it's just compliments.
That's on me. He was talking about you, so I added you in.
No, you're good. You're good.
Didn't tell you, so I'll my bad.
It's just a compliment coming from him, especially because how big of a leader he is and his role to this team. So, just means a lot.
Absolutely. And I agree 100%. Your swagger is unmatched for a freshman. I know I wasn't that confident as a freshman. So, and you come in, you make plays for us, you make threes. We did have a question up top. It was like very first, where'd the nickname Peanut come from? And I don't know why he says why it's gone, but
I hope it's not.
It's
I don't
not.
know if it's ever going to go away, but it came from my mom. I was born with a small head, and she was like, it's kind of shaped like a peanut, so she called me Peanut, and then after that, it stuck till this day. So,
but it's gotten shortened since at Boise State.
I'm shortened to Nut, so now it's Nut, which honestly I don't mind it because it's honestly easier to say and it's not as weird.
Yeah,
I really lie, but yeah.
So, talk about your freshman year. Like, it's obviously been a roller coaster. What was the decision like to burn your red shirt?
Not like. It was kind of weird. Like, coach kept on giving hints to it, but like it was like, there was a couple of practices. He'd be like, "What'd you do? Like, if I pulled your red shirt?" I'm like what I would do. Like, I'd hopefully play and like, I don't know, play well. He's like, "Well, like, okay, like keep going." I was like, "All right." Like, it's just weird. And like a couple of practices later, he's like, "Well, like, you keep making these threes. Like, are you gonna make them in game?" I was like, if you put me in, like, I'd make them in game. He's like, "Okay." And I was like, this is like pretty suspicious. I'm not gonna lie. Like, something's got to be up. And then the very next day after that, I hear him on the phone with my dad, and I was like, okay, like something's up. Like, head coach on the phone with your dad, like something's like obviously up. So he calls me to his office, and he was just like, "There's an opportunity for you to play, and like, I think it's best for our team if we can pull your red shirt. Like, obviously it's your decision, not ours, but I think it'd be good for you and us if you pull it and help our team out." And it's been a dream to like play college basketball. So like, I said yes right away. And that day I practiced with the guys, and the next day I was laced up and ready to go.
It's quite the story. I remember coming in, and this year on the scout team, you were torching us some days. There were some days where you're torching us. Talk a little about your experience on the scout team and how it kind of like made you into the player you are today.
Yeah, Coach Rice always mentioned Max on how his freshman year he was scout team and how like because I was honestly kind of mad on the scout team. I'm not gonna lie, like obviously like I want to be playing, but I mean I gotta do what's best for this team and get this team where we want to be, you know. So I talked to him about it. He was just like, do what Max did, like we'll give you a play or whatever. Obviously, you scout that player, and then like he's just like take one or two things from his game and add it to yours. And after he told me that, like I honestly like love scout. Like I would watch film on that dude from St. Mary's. I was Shefflin, Clemson, like Miles Bird. Like it was just good to take a couple of things from all the people's game and just like put it in my bag so like it's there, you know, and like practice it.
Absolutely. We got an update of the Wyoming score, 24-15. It's interesting. Wyoming's competitive. You got to play Wyoming once, correct?
Yeah, it was like my third game. Yeah.
What did you think of them? Just like playing them?
I mean, it's definitely different from when we played at their place. But I mean, they're a sneaky team. I was watching the game before I hopped on, and they're out playing them, hustling them, and it didn't look like New Mexico. I'm not gonna lie, but Wyoming is definitely showed up and is playing their best ball today. So,
Pearson, I got to jump on and give you some props. We talked to you the other day after the UNLV game, and obviously there was a couple of questions about the turnovers and stuff. But not only did you answer the questions honestly and not make excuses and stand up and kind of just take the blame and say I'm moving on, but then you get in the next game and the first possession I think you're in that you touch the ball, you drive right to the rack and score on a tough basket. I mean, every freshman, every player, Tyson, I mean, Tyson, you had ups and downs. I mean, that was one of your downs, Pearson, but I just had to give you credit publicly, man, for kind of owning that and moving on and obviously didn't let it linger, you know, into the next game.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Was that easy to do, or was that a little tougher, a little easier? Did you make it look easier than it was, or was that kind of eating at you for a while?
I mean, I was getting some shit from most of the team. That flight home was brutal sitting next to RJ. He wouldn't let me use an armrest or anything. He was just like, you have to bring it up. I mean, that's RJ though. So, I mean, that's just him as personality. I mean, he's like my older brother on this team, but honestly, like coming into this game, like, that, or was that Fresno? Was that Fresno? Yeah, like I mean, I was some nerves. Like I didn't want to. Who was it? San Jose.
San Jose. Yeah.
I mean, I told it was TD. We had to play, and like it was supposed to be a back cut pass to Allen. I look at him like I'm not throwing that first pass, coach. Like I'm like I don't know. Like
I know exactly
after UNLV, like my first pass is not going to be a one hander. Like I mean, he gets it, but I mean, there's definitely some nerves. Obviously, I don't want to make mistakes, but I couldn't like play timid and stuff. So
I know it's like you got to look further ahead or whatever, but like how much do you think now, like when next November comes around, it's the first game of next season, like getting this month and a half of experience here and like getting some of those kind of freshman mistakes out of the way, like how much do you think that is going to pay off for you getting all these games under your belt now as opposed to playing your first game, you know, the first game next year?
I think it's going to pay off quite a bit, actually. I mean, like you said, like I had a couple of mistakes. I mean, freshman year, like obviously more mistakes are going to come. Like I'm human, like mistakes happen, but I definitely do think that like next year that'll be super helpful because like, I mean, all my mistakes I've been in the past. I mean, everyone still makes mistakes, but like, I mean, I know kind of what not to do and what to do and like all that stuff. Not
Tyson, as Emmanuel found out, it's dangerous in the chat when your teammates get in there.
Yeah,
there are some questions from some teammates starting to pop up here.
I see Jules though. I mean, Blue Squad is on top. Yeah.
We got one from Jordan. This is actually a serious question. How's your brother doing at Carroll? And what's it like being college athletes together?
It's different. I mean, he's at a good NAI school in Helena, Montana, and he's loving it. This year he didn't play as much as he wanted to. He had a couple run packages and played quite a bit. But I mean, their quarterback left, so he has a good opportunity to come in and play this upcoming year. But he really enjoys it. And then just like the fact having another brother, like I mean, he redshirted when he was at Idaho his freshman year. So like I talked to him about redshirting and like his experience. So it was good just to have like another voice in my head and just an older brother, you know, that's been through it.
Absolutely. We got BJ already kind of put it on the camera, but it's from B-Man asking, are you single?
Currently, like, yeah.
So that's all you have to say. You can just say yeah. Do you know a guy named Junior Jones by any chance?
No.
I think he's a coach or something here.
Maybe getting low on your catches will help you. He said.
I know exactly who that is.
He said earlier those 3 turnovers.
I know exactly who that is. Oh Lord.
We got a good one from Al saying, "Did you read the bullshit?"
I did read the bullshit. Yeah.
And then Junior Jones asked, "Is that how big it is? Is that question ring a bell?"
That does ring a bell. Yeah. Yeah.
What was on? I mean, maybe you can't say or don't want to say. But what was the backstory on the bullshit?
Oh, the bullshit. I mean, all I think it said was like, his name's Peanut and he's a grown ass man. And I was like, yeah, it's my name. But some girl in the crowd kept on saying something.
I still have the. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. They passed out water at the game.
Oh God!
We called it the Tears of Leon water here.
So
I thought if you guys would have won that game, I was going to give it to him on the post game show and see if he wanted to have a sip. But maybe if you guys win in a couple of weeks, I'll Coach Rice will happily.
That's good to have around right there.
Those guys, I mean, they're give them a little bit of credit. I mean, they're loud, make a lot of noise. Some of the stuff's a little more R-rated than I think than we need to see. But in terms of loudness, I mean, that was was your first road game, right, Pearson?
That was a brutal first road game. I can't lie to you. I was not expecting that, but I mean, they always said like the Mountain West is like, like good atmospheres, and I was like, okay, and that was eye opening. I mean, they're there at the 90-minute mark, and we're still like talking and like not even locked in kind of yet, just like shooting around, and like they're there, like you can hear them right away, which is pretty sweet.
B-Man asked another one. Is it fun living with Jules?
I'd say it was fun living with him. He's currently not living with me anymore, but it's a different story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Julian asking, are you still a freshman?
Roster wise, yeah. According to Coach Burns, not a freshman anymore. So
what did Burns tell you that you're not a freshman?
Me and Jules had a film sesh after what game was it? It was just after a game. Me and him had a film session. It was after Colorado State. Me, Bernie, Lex, and Jules had a film session. He's like tomorrow at practice, like you guys are not freshmen anymore. You guys are sophomores. Like no longer freshmen. Like you're sophomores. And me and him, like every time we see Bernie, we're like, yo, what's up? Like we're sophomores. And he thinks it's the funniest thing, but it's just what we got to do.
Do you enjoy your film sessions with Coach Burns?
Yeah, he says some crazy out of pocket stuff sometimes, but it's good. I mean, I get them. Like they help me.
Yeah,
you know how they are.
Oh yeah, trust me. I know. I've had my fair share. He's told me some things where I'm like, yeah, that's true. I did not want to hear that, but yeah, that's true. Okay. We got a question from Todd saying you and Jules need to hit about 3 or 4 threes on Saturday. You think you can come through with that?
And that's the goal.
That's cool.
I'm not going to jack up 4 threes right away, but if they come to me.
Chad with a question. What do you get at Subway?
I haven't had Subway in a minute, but what I used to get is like a flatbread with turkey and then bacon and like a pepper jack cheese warmed up. And then I get cucumbers, mustard, lettuce, and mayonnaise and bacon. I already said bacon, but yeah, that's it.
That's solid. That's a solid order. I know they changed their flatbread from when it used to be, so it may not be the same sandwich as it once was. I've been
there since like I was 6th grade, so maybe again.
The flatbread's different. I went like a couple months ago, and they wouldn't like toast the bacon on the bread. I'm like, why? This is normally they toast it with the bacon and the cheese on top. And they wouldn't do that.
They don't do that anymore?
No, they said it's a different flatbread because they have to make like pizzas and stuff.
Wow.
From what I've heard.
Slacking.
But Chad had a question for Al that I think I can relate to you. It was what's your favorite food spot in Boise so far?
Food.
Lean Feast.
Lean Feast is fire. I can't lie. I had Lean Feast for lunch today.
Which one do you have?
The shrimp steak, rice, broccoli. It's good.
It's a good little one.
It was good. Food spot in Boise. There's a lot. I go to Eureka quite a bit.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this. Yep.
Yeah. I get a steak salad from Eureka. I DoorDash that about 3 times a week. That's my go-to.
It's not a bad order.
No.
That is not a bad order.
Yeah.
Kind of as we're wrapping up here, if you have more questions for Peanut, please get them in the comments. As we have into our last 7 games, what does this team need to do to get where we want to be at the end of get into the tournament?
I mean, I just think we've got to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, I definitely think our mentality on defense has switched up. Since I've been playing, and I just think if we just come in with the same confidence we've been coming in with and swagger, that stuff will go our way. I do think the pass is the pass, and all we got to focus on is just the game by game. And I think if we take a game by game, then we'll find ourselves where we want to be.
What that's first San Diego State game, maybe for both of you guys, but just giving up, I think, 15 offensive rebounds, and just that wasn't really your guys' kind of defensive rebounding type game. How rough, I guess, has it been to watch the film of that again, or maybe you'll get into it the next few days. But I assume defensive rebounding, which you guys rank number 2 in the country, and not giving them second chance points will be a huge key on Saturday.
100%. I know. We watched that film the day after the game, and it was just awful. I just remember it was so bad.
Yeah,
There's just so many. They didn't have to show a lot of clips, but they showed them all, and it was a very live-in truth film session, if you want to call it that. So we definitely got to control the boards, and if we, do what we do, I think we're going to be just fine. Right, Peanut?
Hell yeah. Dang, you got 2 bags of clubs behind you?
Huh?
You have 2 bags behind you?
It's I got my golf clubs and 2 of my roommates' golf clubs over here, so it's a nice little spot for them. We got a couple questions in here from Skyship. What's your favorite Marvel Avenger?
My favorite? Probably Hulk.
Good answer.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see Skyship on the next episode of the Tyson Degenhart Show. What's your favorite golf club from the stable?
7-iron.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Todd,
there's a lot of people's favorite club, I'm not gonna lie.
Mine's my 5-iron. I've always just been able to. I just don't know why it's my go-to. I used to not be able to hit my driver because I had a massive slice, and my 5-iron I could hit in the fairway 190, and I'd be like, that's good enough for me.
Mine's my putter because it's taken me 15 shots, and I'm finally on the green. So.
Question from Todd. Any reason for us to be excited about Captain America Brave New World?
Honestly, I'm not that big of a fan, but yeah. I'm excited for it.
Another one, Kylo Ren or Darth Vader?
Oh, Darth Vader. That's easy. That's just OG.
Yeah, from Waylon Johnson. What's your favorite shoe to hoop in?
Well, it was the KD15. That shoe's kind of gone now. So the Sabrina 2s probably.
That's good. And then Junior Jones saying, who is your favorite teammate?
I like all my teammates, equally.
If you had to pick one.
I'm not picking a teammate. I tell you who I'm not picking. It's the kid I sit next to in the locker room, to the right of me.
Okay, yeah, I know who that is. Yep.
Yeah.
He sits in between us. Yep.
He's right in between us. Yeah.
He's right between us.
Yeah.
Are you a big baseball guy?
No, sadly.
Oh, okay. Bregman to the Red Sox for 3 years, 120. Chase asking, what is your dream NIL deal?
Nike. I mean, that would be sweet. Honestly, yeah, Nike would be lit.
And then we got last couple here. One from Alvaro Cardenas. Would you consider RJ Keene your mentor?
I'd consider him like an older brother, so he's like a mentor in some spots. But I mean, he's one of the closest kids I'm with on the team, and I mean, I do look up to him in some ways.
It's good. RJ missed you by a little bit, but he's not very happy about the Bregman trade, and he spelled Red Sox wrong. But we'll move on. But
I like your mustache, Dougie.
I appreciate it. You gonna grow yours out too?
I'm trying.
Yeah, you got.
I'm still young, so I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
Pearson, once you learn how to dribble, then talk.
Oh, RJ.
Oh, one more
how to shoot, then you can talk to me, okay?
One more question for you. Do you know who Emmanuel or Ems was shushing at? Do you know? We're trying to figure that out. That was one of our questions on the show today.
I do not know.
Okay, that's all I asked. But
I do not know.
Peanut, I want to thank.
Do you know who it was directed towards?
I do. I do. Yes.
The crowd.
I hope he hits 10 more in a row and does it every single time. That would be great.
I would love that.
It was I already explained it, but it was nothing personal, man. I'm happy he hit it and I hope he hits 10 more. There you go. All right, here come more comments about it. Yeah, we got it.
Last one for you, Peanut. What's your max bench press?
Like on a good day, like 205.
That's good. That's solid.
I'm just joking. It's like 235, 245.
You're up there with the big dogs.
Yeah.
What's yours, Tyson?
Back in my heyday, it was like I think I got 255 for 2. I think that was my heyday.
That's what I squat for 1.
All right, we got to get you out of here, Peanut, before RJ says too much. But
yeah,
Peanut, thanks for coming on.
Yes,
I appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yep. See ya. Thank you.
Thanks, Pearson. Take care, man.
Two good interviews.
We are probably thankful that Keen didn't. It must have had study hall or something for most of the show.
Yeah, I ran into Peanut on my walk back from class this morning, and he's like, "I'm not going on the show if RJ's in the comments." So it was a good thing RJ came at the very end. He's one of our more active commenters on this show.
Keen's got his own segment on the show on BNN.
When's his next segment?
Should be soon. I don't know. The Signature Roofing guys are getting on him about living up to his end of the deal here. He needs to get back on here pretty soon, I think.
He's got to do it. Todd's saying we need to take RJ to dinner and let him talk. Okay, we can get RJ on here at some point. He's gonna want to come back on.
Someone said get him on the post game show soon. Keen post game. Keen was the best. There was when Keen was injured. I think it was in Charleston or somewhere. Keen was out injured, and he came on the pregame show with me on a couple of days. And
it was Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. Okay, yeah, he came on pregame show with me, and people were loving him. So yeah,
he's got his own segment. He's
Bregman deal, man. That's crazy for me. That's wow. It wasn't a trade. He was free agent, I think, from the Astros. So he was going to maybe go back to the Astros, and now that's why Keen's upset. But my Cardinals were trying to maybe trade Nolan Arenado to the Red Sox, so now they're not doing that if Bregman went there. So,
well, you can't have a much worse off season than the Mariners. So I don't.
Well, you guys at least signed somebody. The Cardinals haven't signed a single player. So
we signed like a minor leaguer. I think that's all we've signed.
I think that's more than the Cardinals have still.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, check in on that Wyoming score here. I'm trying to find the Mountain West scoreboard. It's a 8-point game with 49 seconds left in the half. I mean, you live it, man. I've been to most of these venues and stuff, but obviously not as a player. But I mean, it is crazy. Just you never know what you're going to get on every night in the Mountain West. And I mean, you'd still probably expect New Mexico to come back and win this. They're down 8, but I mean, this league, man, I know they say like another night in the Mountain West, but it really is, man. It's crazy some of the scores you see in some of the games.
Absolutely. You kind of see it wherever you play. I mean, San Diego State's had some close ones. Like they almost lost to Air Force. Like it doesn't matter who you play or where you play. Anyone can beat anyone on any given night. And so you just have to make sure you don't overlook anyone because the teams, if they play to their potential, they can beat you on any night of the week. So got to be dialed in and never take any game for granted.
What's your favorite part and your least favorite part about playing at Viejas Arena?
The favorite part there is obviously winning. They also have it's kind of like not like a least favorite thing, but their fans are great. They're great. They do talk more to I think they talked to Max a lot last year, from what I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was.
You weren't around. Were you ever around at all with Kaysen Pryor?
He was here my freshman year. Okay.
I remember he was down there at the end of the bench, just absolutely talking all kinds of stuff. Burke Smith, I think, was down there, and some other guys. If you're a talker at the end of the bench, you're gonna, you get a chance to have some fun against the show there.
Oh, absolutely. They let you hear it, and that's the fun part of college basketball. You got passionate fans, and it's always a blast going down there.
I don't know if you notice it too, but they do something with the lights too. Like when you guys come out for warm-ups, they use like spotlights kind of on the court. So it's like pitch black almost in the stands, and it's like just the court's lit up when you guys are doing kind of the final layup line right before tip-off, and then they end up switching it back. But and they bring the techno music and the stadium anthems. I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, you get goosebumps sometimes there right before the game there with just the atmosphere and the energy and stuff.
100%. Even when you're sitting in the huddle, listening to their intros and just hearing the crowd behind them, it still gives me chills to this day on going on to road venues and hearing that stuff. It just gets you so ready for the game, and something I don't take for granted because I know it's going to be gone soon.
And you've had a pretty good record against San Diego State over your career for the most part. And I know last year that'll be probably a memorable game for you for, just as being a part of, with Max hitting that shot and, Cam Martin, what he did in that game. I mean, that was their only home loss of the season last year.
And Roddy hit the shot to send it to overtime. He made the floater with 4 or 5 seconds left. And Cam had that crucial offensive rebound, made both free throws and then ended with the block. So that was a very memorable game. And we had some memorable games down there. And, I think they play better at home anyway. So I think we're going to expect San Diego State's best shot.
And you said you don't really pay attention too much unless you see a Jay Tuss tweet or whatever. But I mean, you guys did kind of move your way at least, closer. The bubble of the bubble, I guess you could say. I mean, you're getting back to at least being like somewhat on the edge of some of these lists. And that was against 4 wins against lower teams in the league. No disrespect, just looking at the standings. Now you get a chance with 4 games against these next 4 games, and then the 7, but you get, Colorado State at the end, but these next 4 games are all quad 1, quad 2 games. I mean, I know it's one game at a time, but I mean, you feel like you do have an opportunity here over these next couple of weeks to finish strong and put yourself back in position to be in that conversation?
Absolutely. We do have to take one game at a time, but at the same time, you have to, be present and like kind of see where we're going, and got a big stretch down to end the regular season, and we got some great games ahead of us. And so if we're able to win the games we're supposed to win, I think we're gonna be in a great spot.
People are bringing up the another memorable game that wasn't that memorable for various reasons, but was it 42-37, I believe?
42-37. It was looked like more of a first half score, but that was a hectic week for us because we played Air Force on Tuesday, bust to Logan on Wednesday, played in Logan, Shave hit the shot, and then we flew to San Diego that night, and then practice Friday, game Saturday, and that was like the prime of the COVID year, like 3 games in 5 days, and you just found a way to keep winning. That was games 10, 11, and 12 of our win streak. So very, very memorable, even though it may have been hard to watch. It was just a defensive slugfest, as Jordan was saying.
And whenever we talk about your guys' defense, like I always point to that game, like you scored 42 points in a game and you won. I mean, that just tells you all you need to know about what defense can do if you guys can lock in defensively.
Because there's going to be some games that you just do not hit shots, and that's the way basketball works. You're not going to hit every shot you take, so you got to be able to rely on your defense and rebounding, and that can help you win any game that you play in.
Do you remember the halftime score of that game?
You couldn't. I don't remember. It was somewhere. It was probably like 2020 or something like that.
23-22, 23-22. San Diego State was up by 1, and then they scored 1 point in the first 10 minutes of the second half. You guys started with a 13-1 run. They scored 14 points in the second half, and you held them. The shooting percentages were 31. No, that was 2-point percentage. They were 31%. on twos. They were 21%, 4 of 19 on threes. You guys were 5 of 16 from three. Man, this is crazy to look at. It was 39 to 33 was the rebounds. You guys had the edge there, but you look at that team they have, man. Nathan Mensah, Lamont Butler, Matt Bradley, Keyshawn Johnson, Seiko, Rope. I mean, you guys held that team to 37 points and won at San Diego State. I mean, that's going to be a memorable game for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. And it was just one of those games that we just found a way to win. And even though it may have been ugly, we just, we were committed to what we were doing, and we just found a way. And that was kind of the epitome of that win streak. We just found different ways to win, whether we had to score 80 or score 42 and hold the team to 37. So
who's been the hardest guy in the, let's see, Sky says hardest guy in your career to guard in the paint?
Oh man, in the paint, I mean, obviously those two guys that you listed are huge. They were very, very good last year. PJ Hall was obviously good last year for Clemson. Just trying to remember all the names we've played. David,
the big guy on Colorado.
Eddie Lampkin was a big dude. David Roddy for Colorado State. Those are some ones off the top.
I was watching that Kansas-Colorado game last night, and they showed the graphic of the 3 draft picks from last year on Colorado, 2 of the top 18 picks in the draft, and I'm just sitting there going like, you guys got so screwed that last year having to play them in the tournament. I mean, and you're winning with 4 minutes left in the game, and you had to play a team that had 3 NBA draft picks in the draft, and if you'd have played that Virginia team, that Colorado State played, you probably beat them by 20. But
it is what it is.
You guys are a little snake bit when it comes to that. So that's why you're due a long run here and some good luck in the tournament. Like, I feel like you're due a big one before you get out of here.
Absolutely. And then Gavin mentioned Graham Ike is another one. I totally forgot. He had 33 and 11 at their place to end our win streak freshman year. So,
what about were you around for the big dude from Utah State?
Kada?
Emish Kada?
No, I came the year after him.
Okay. Yeah, he was. I remember him. That was the COVID year where they did like both games in the same city, I think, right? And he had
2 games in 3 days.
30 and 20 or something one of the games, and then backed it up with like almost another 30 and 20 again or something crazy.
Well, he's playing for the Celtics. He's on that roster and he's getting some time. So
I gotta now that I'm going down that rabbit hole, I gotta look that up real quick to see what he did. Utah State. He had the first matchup 32 and 10. In the first game, 32 and 10. He was 12 of 21 from the field. And then in the second game, 2 days later, he had 30 and 11. So back-to-back 30-10 games. And Boise State won both games, though. That's crazy.
I remember watching those games. What's funny is that was in like February or January. And we were still in two-day-a-week school. And we were just, doing our thing. And I remember watching that. I think those were on like Fox Sports or something, like right at the start of that transition from ESPN.
Chase says you can brag that you scored 1/3 of the points in that 42-37 game.
Oh man, guess
well,
I did.
It's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited to get down there to San Diego. It's they're fighting just as much as you guys are for an at-large bid here. It probably better. I know some fans were rooting for San Jose last night, but you guys had to play New Mexico after they had just lost at San Jose, and they were kind of dialed in and locked in. Like I know for the standings, it would have put you a game ahead of them, but probably was better that San Diego State won that game, and for a lot of different reasons.
Absolutely, and especially that they lost the Colorado State game before. You don't want to play a San Diego State team like that with coming off 2 days of 2 losses in a row. So
final thing, I guess, then, what we mentioned, the rebounding and the defense, maybe it's as simple as that, but what do you guys got to do to board that charter on Saturday night with a 5th straight win?
Well, obviously you mentioned defense and rebounding, but we just got to do what we've done the last 4 games and really defend the 3 and just make every shot hard for the other team. And if we're capable of that, I think we can get out of there with a win. And another thing that just came to mind is we just got to stay together. They're going to make runs. It's going to get loud in there, and we just got to stick together as a group and not unravel. And we're going to be just fine.
Well, I know this show is possible because you have some great NIL deals and sponsors and things. Anybody else you want to shout out here?
just want to give a big shout out to Idaho Central Credit Union for making this show happen and giving me lots of opportunities to be in the Treasure Valley community. And big shout out to Lean Feast for fueling me throughout this year. And yeah, just want to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors of the show.
Well, we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, no doubt, and Lean Feast, too, also joint sponsors of BNN, so we appreciate both of them. Tyson, appreciate you, man. Great stuff as always. Thanks to Alvaro Cardenas and Pearson Carmichael for jumping on as well. Thank you to Jordan over at Boise State for helping. Programming note, Mike Burns, I accidentally sent you the text instead of Jordan. Sorry about that. I'm asking you if Burns can come on, but Mike Burns will be coming on tomorrow morning on the morning show, BNN Live, 9 a.m. tomorrow. John Mallory and I will host, and we will have Mike Burns on to talk defense and get ready for San Diego State. So you can come back and hear Mike Burns tomorrow at 9 a.m. But thank you to everybody for the questions. Thank you for watching. And I echo what Alvaro said, man. You need a packed house next week against New Mexico. That could be a game changer. And especially I have faith. If you guys, I know it's a big ask, but if you guys I have faith they're going to show up either way. But if you guys are able to find a way to get a win on Saturday, I feel like there's no reason that place shouldn't just be rocking and electric, and got to figure out a way to get the students in there. I don't know if you guys need to go knock on the dorm rooms Monday and Tuesday or what, but you got to find a way to get some students in there and get that big home court advantage that you guys have seen at 3 or 4 venues already in conference play here, and turn the tide on New Mexico a little bit at the X next week. Absolutely. We need to see if we can get every seat in that arena filled out, because we only have 3 more home games for us seniors. So we're just trying to make the most of them, and they're big games down the stretch. And so against some great teams, and we thrive off the crowd, and every seat matters. So if you're not able to be there, just make sure you get your tickets to someone that'll be there, be loud, and can't wait to see everyone there. Well, Tyson, good luck this Saturday. Good luck in your continued pursuit of Tanaka Beard. Hopefully folks had a chance to go read Mike Prater's column. And that's a cool side story down the stretch here that I know you're not really, at least publicly wanting to talk about or think about, but that's obviously something people are come to the X for a lot of reasons. And that, that's another reason to come as well. So thanks to Tanaka for talking to Mike Prater for that column. You can go read that at BroncoNationNews.com. And we will, we're supposed to have some interviews tomorrow, but we'll see with the snow and whatever else happens, if that ends up happening. But I will see you guys in San Diego this weekend, and 8 o'clock, I believe, back in Boise, right? 7 o'clock in San Diego for the start on Saturday. And hopefully folks are watching that, and good luck. And we'll talk to you hopefully after you get a win on Saturday, Tyson. Absolutely. Thanks for helping me out tonight, and we'll see you in San Diego. Tyson Degenhart Show presented by Idaho Central Credit Union. We appreciate Lean Feast as well. And again, thank you to all you guys for watching the show, for commenting. So tell your friends, retweet it, and we'll try to get another episode or 2 with Tyson here down the stretch. Schedule obviously gets a little tight here with the midweek games coming back. We'll try to figure something out before the Mountain West tournament, and then hopefully let's set it up now for the Tuesday before you guys head to Spokane for the first round game. Maybe in a couple of in a month or so. We'll plan on that. It's not in Spokane this year. It's Seattle, and the close ones are Seattle and Denver. That's right, Seattle. Okay. Well, yeah. All right. Well, that last year would have been Spokane, but we'll Seattle or Denver both sound fine too. I'm good with either one. Appreciate it, man. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your evening. And we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, the Tyson Degenhart Show, presented by Idaho Central Credit Union at BroncoNationNews.com. We'll see you with Mike Burns and John Mallory at 9 a.m. Have a good rest of your evening.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.